Dr. T.V. Rao is an institution in himself. Dr. Rao, along with Dr. Udai Pareek, are the pioneers of the HRD movement in Asia. It was they who gave a new focus and meaning to the human resources function. Dr. T.V. Rao revolutionized the way people look at HR. It was no more only a personal and administrative function of business. Instead, Dr. Rao brought in a new dimension where human resource became the business itself. This exhibits the potential of the HR function, which runs across all industries and sectors, modern and traditional, government and NGOs. The culmination of thought propounded by Dr. T.V. Rao, which today is seen in all clarity, began its journey in mid-70s. Dr. T.V. Rao joined the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad in 1973.
Those days, appraisals meant confidential reports. When we interviewed people in Larsen & Toubro and put all our notes together, we discovered that performance appraisal cannot be treated alone. It's linked with identifying attributes required to be a good performer. It's linked with potential appraisal. It's linked with performance coaching. It's linked with training and development and a whole number of things. And we discovered all this cannot be done without creating the right climate where people enjoy their work. The most importantly, people look forward to come to the organization with happiness and joy, look forward for the day, and when they leave the organization also, they leave with a sense of satisfaction. And when we put all our data together, I still remember Udai Pareek and I were sitting in Taj Hotel discovering the commonality among the data. It was Dr. Udai Pareek who said that Venkatesh, all this cannot be done by the current personnel department. It doesn't have the wherewithal to do it. We probably should create a new department or a new function and call it Human Resource Development Department. That is the beginning of our thought about creating a new human resource development department which helps people to enjoy work.
A new function, human resources function, thus came into being. This function had HRD at its soul. HR became a philosophy where every person took charge of his or her talent. Culture and workplace values are important for the HR function to grow and bloom.
The main purpose of HR function is to create competence building, commitment building and culture building. By competence we mean building every individual as a full human being, helping each person to understand and exploit his or her own talent for his good, the organization is good, family is good and the society is good. Also helping the person to build his capabilities in relation to the role, also build the role and build two-person relationships which we call as dyadic relationships, which means that you should enjoy working with your senior, you should enjoy working with your juniors, you should enjoy working with your team. So, it is also building team, building the health of the organization, building the entire organization, the society and the nation. That is the main purpose of competence building. And culture building, we talk of octopus culture, openness, collaboration, trust, proactivity, autonomy, authenticity, confrontation and experimentation. If an organization promotes these values and creates this kind of a culture, organization becomes a great place to work. People enjoy their jobs, people enjoy life itself. So, that is what we mean by culture building. Commitment building is helping every person to enjoy the work. So, organizations are platforms. The HR function job is therefore to create continuous building of competencies, culture and values and helping people to be committed and enjoy their work and life in itself.
This is where the HR function becomes the business itself. The credit to build this concept goes to Dr. T.V. Rao. By the mid-80s, HR became very popular. It became a fashion. Dr. Rao noticed the core philosophy of the function being diluted.
I decided to accept the offer to be Larsen Toubro Professor of Human Resource Development at XLRI, with the sole purpose of promoting HRD concepts, philosophy and values across various sectors in Indian society.
He promoted the National HRD Network in 1985, which has 40 chapters and 15,000 members. Then in 1990, he set up the Academy of Human Resource Development in Ahmedabad. All these initiatives work to keep the true philosophy of the HR function rich and alive.
Based on my work with David McClelland at Harvard University and Abigail Stewart, who now works at the University of Michigan, I developed a leadership style inventory. This inventory conceptualizes leadership as consisting of 3 styles. Benevolent style, which is equivalent to that of paternalistic style in the Indian and some of the Asian kind of settings, where the leader believes he or she should always take care of the needs of their juniors. Critical style, where the leader believes that the juniors need to be closely supervised. And the third is the most important style, which we called as the developmental style, where the leader believes that his or her main job is to build the competencies of people by sharing information, setting challenges and goals, continuously recognizing, giving them a sense of independence, empowering them to take their own kind of decisions and so on. This developmental style is sometimes called as the HRD style. We did a lot of work with these, and ultimately this work led to our conceptualization of a program called as Leadership Styles and Organizational Effectiveness, which gave birth to a new phenomena, new process of giving feedback to managers, which was later in America called as the 360-degree feedback.
Dr. Rao did not pause and also drew attention to situations where the D in HRD became department instead of development. If the H got dropped, then what remained was resources. Resources out of the context have limited scope.
Once I was attending a leadership program, teaching there actually in Isha Foundation, I heard Sadhguru say, human is not a resource, it is a crime to call it a resource. What actually he meant was, treating a human being as a number is not the best thing to do in life. He came up with a very interesting term, human is a possibility, and I liked that very much. Since then, I started refocusing the attention of HRD on human part of the HRD and say it is human possibility development. That means human being is born with unlimited resources, and it is our job to constantly help the human being to discover the possibilities, and it is a human being who can make things happen. That is the purpose of HRD. Focus on human, don't treat human as a number, but human as a possibility.
Conferences, seminars and workshops are important to keep alive the spirit and soul of Dr. Rao's HR philosophy. Dr. Rao has addressed conferences organized by NIPM, ISTD, NHRDN and CII in India, NERDA in Malaysia, Asian OD Network in China, IPM in Sri Lanka, SGHC in Taiwan, ICAI in Dubai, and participated in programs for UNESCO in ASEAN countries, Paris and Mexico, USAID in Indonesia, and corporate groups in Nigeria, Egypt, Oman, Singapore, Netherlands and United Kingdom.
I was invited by Commonwealth Secretariat London to help them to prepare a document to be circulated at a Commonwealth Heads of Government Conference on how do we improve the human resources development at national level. It also resulted in a book on human resources development, taking HRD to the national and society level.
An author of wide acclaim, Dr. Rao has authored or co-edited more than 60 books. He has produced bestsellers like HRD Missionary, HRD Audit, HRD Scorecard 2500, Managers Who Make a Difference, Power of 360-degree Feedback, Designing and Managing HR Systems, Effective People, 100 Managers in Action, and The Future of HRD. Awards and recognition came out of solid work on the ground. Dr. Rao is the recipient of several awards and Lifetime Achievement Awards. Association of Indian Management Schools awarded him the prestigious Ravi Mathai Fellow. Professional bodies like NHRDN, Asian OD Network, and various institutions showered recognition on Dr. T.V. Rao. Today, Dr. T.V. Rao runs the T.V. Rao Learning Systems, of which he is the founding chairman. It has online academic portal to disseminate learning in HR.
All successful leaders are considered successful when they build others to a level where they are not needed. Same way, when HRD department functions so well that it brings itself to a level where it is not needed. That means every person takes charge of his or her own learning, his or her own HRD, and that is the time when we can say HRD has become very successful, and there is no need for HRD departments to tell people that you learn and you constantly discover your potential and benefit the society at large. HR professionals should work towards this great goal of self-dispensing departments.
Decades have gone by since then, but the legend, Dr. T.V. Rao, continues tirelessly.